Good morning, friends. I am so excited this morning to show you my first flower is open. This is a Polaris butternut squash. It's my first time growing this variety, and the flower that's open is a female. Look at that baby squash right there. So I do have some male spaghetti squash flowers open. They are all the way over there in that pot, way back there. And so I pulled one out. You can use a paintbrush, you don't have to pick one, but I pulled one out and I hand pollinated this flower to make sure that I would get a pollinated squash. I am leaving it open right there, so if the bees want to come and get any pollen off of it that's left, they can, but you know, I don't really think there's much left on there. But anyway, that's super exciting. So here's how my squash is looking. These are summer squash that are getting super big, but if you can see, I keep them trimmed and it keeps more airflow around the base of the plant. You can still see the soil. You can fit more plants here together because of that, which is awesome. Check out some pretty zinnias this morning. And then here's my zucchini squash. So far I have not gotten any zucchini off of this because it's been the only one flowering all by its lonesome. And the gray zucchini predominantly puts off female flowers. Check all those females out. So this is not pollinated. You can see because it's got a yellow here. I probably didn't have a male flower open that day. But when this one was open and this one was open, there was male flowers open on the spaghetti squash over there. So I'm hoping that they got pollinated, but time will tell. We'll see, right? So over here, this is my small wonder spaghetti squash. I did buy the seeds from Haas Tools. They send a cute little tag in their seed packets. I've grown this lots of times. First time growing it in a pot, and I'm gonna say that it obviously is not doing as good as my past ones. You can see in my old videos that it's just, this is two plants. It's sad. It's so small compared to what I usually have going on, but I haven't had time to get it in the ground yet, and I probably haven't been fertilizing it as much as I usually do. So, but this morning I have a little female flower for spaghetti squash. There's the baby spaghetti squash right there, and there's a male right there. So I'm very excited to have that. Those are all flowers that were open yesterday. So this is the first spaghetti squash on this plant. The one, I'm sure it'll get pollinated. Yesterday I saw some bees over here on the male flowers, so I'm sure today they'll be back. And over here, this is a different plant. There is a spaghetti squash here, but I'm pretty sure it didn't get pollinated. I think there was no males open on this day in all my squash plants. So, but still, very excited. I'm gonna get my first spaghetti squash, my first butternut, which are winter squashes. So that's always very, very fun. We have a couple other things. Here's some watermelons doing really good. I think this is one plant. Yeah, it's a sugar baby. There's another one, and this is two. So it's a little squash there. But here's my Everglades tomatoes. And this is the first week they're putting off flowers. So I should have some tomatoes soon. My other Everglades also have flowers on them. You can see way over there. So very, very exciting. And then here's some more zinnias that are still opening up. Very pretty. Some of these were volunteers, and then I believe I planted some Purple Prince ones, and then at a different time I planted a bunch of Benari's giant mix variety. So, and those aren't opening yet. So here's my bean trellis, or lime bean trellis, but here's my bush beans, and they're also flowering. And you can see tiny little beans. Check them out. There's like a dead flower hanging off of there. So these are just bush green beans and yellow beans. So that's really exciting. And yesterday I actually planted more of these whole lima beans. I made this little trellis over here. So I made this just like this, and I used string, which I probably should have used twine, but I mean, this will have to do. I'm sure it'll be fine. The lima beans aren't super heavy, so, and honestly, when they grow up this, they're gonna put weight on this, and it's gonna just kind of put it down in the ground more. So as long as we don't get crazy winds or hurricane, it should stay pretty well. And I planted lima beans all along the bottom of this. They're climbing with the Christmas pole variety, so very exciting. Also, here's another watermelon. It's growing really nicely. I believe this is a lemon drop variety, so it's all yellow inside and outside. And over here, I have a little jalapeno. Look at it, check it out. Very exciting. And this plant specifically keeps putting off lots of flowers. This one has tons of flower buds, but nothing yet that I've seen. And my bell peppers so far have no flowers, so still waiting on those. So when I got these from the store, they were super tall and lanky, and I pinched the tops off, and so you can see that, you know, they're like short and they're bushing out real good. So they're gonna get real short and bushy. Look at that leafy growth. And then I did fertilize them one time with fish emulsion fertilizer. I had just bought them, and I waited like 2 weeks after I put them in the ground and pinched them, and then I gave them the fish emulsion fertilizer, which is a super gentle fertilizer. I even give it to little tiny baby plants like this one. I gave it to this little bok choy here, and it really encourages green growth. So I don't put it on beans or root vegetables. From my experience, beans do not like fertilizer, and obviously with root vegetables you want to promote growth in the roots, not so much the leaves. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for checking out my plants. I hope this encourages you to grow something here in Southwest Florida, even though it's hard to grow plants in the summer. Look at this. I got a super late, all this was sown way late in the season, and these plants are huge. So the only thing I planted in this whole thing on time from seed was this, and it's not even getting pollinated because most of the days that the female flowers are open, there's nothing else because all my squash were started later. Anyways, hope this encourages you to grow something really pretty. I mean, all this was planted out like maybe a month, 4 to 6 weeks ago in between there. So yeah, thanks for checking it out.